You ever stop and think about what really makes a modern company run? You know, behind all the flashy products and the big ad campaigns, there's this powerful, almost invisible engine driving everything. Well, in this explainer, we're going to pop the hood and take a look at that engine. Information systems.
Okay, let's just jump right in because you have to see this. This chart is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing. It shows where businesses in the US were putting their money from 1980 all the way to 2008. Now look at that green line. That's information technology. It went from just 32% of total capital investment to over half, 51%. This isn't just some small trend. This is a total rewiring of how business works, a quiet revolution that's changed everything.
But why? I mean, why are companies pouring billions and billions of dollars into IT? They're definitely not doing it just for kicks. The truth is, there's this growing link, an interdependence really, between a company's tech and its ability to succeed. Turns out, firms invest this heavily to hit 6 core strategic business goals.
So, the first and maybe the most obvious goal is operational excellence. This is all about using technology to get crazy efficient, boost productivity, and, you guessed it, make more money.
Walmart is the absolute poster child for this. Their legendary efficiency isn't some kind of magic. It's powered by systems like RetailLink. What this does is give their suppliers a direct, real-time window into what's selling in every single store. So when you buy something, the supplier knows almost instantly and can get a replacement on the shelf. It is a hyper-efficient, automated system that competitors have been trying to copy for decades.
But here's the thing. It's not just about doing the same old stuff, only faster. The second strategic goal is all about radical innovation. Information systems are this incredible tool for dreaming up entirely new products, new services, and even brand new ways of doing business altogether.
Just think about it for a second. Apple didn't just invent a new music player with the iPod. They used technology to build an entire ecosystem around it with iTunes, and that completely flipped the music industry on its head. Or look at Netflix. They didn't just get better at mailing you DVDs. They used streaming technology to create a whole new business model that basically took over Hollywood.
So you've got efficiency and innovation. The third objective is about using technology to build these really strong, profitable relationships. It's not just about what you sell, but how you connect with your customers and your suppliers.
You know, when a fancy hotel uses its system to remember you like a certain pillow or a room with a view, you're probably going to come back, right? That intimacy drives revenue. And on the other side of the coin, when a retailer like JCPenney links its sales data right to its manufacturers, they can coordinate everything and keep costs way down. It's a win-win, all powered by information.
And believe it or not, those are just the first 3 of the 6 main objectives. The other 3 are just as important. You've got improved decision-making, using real-time data instead of just guessing. Then there's achieving a real competitive advantage by doing things your rivals just can't. And finally, number 6. And maybe the most important of all, survival. Plain and simple. In today's world, using technology isn't really a choice. It's what keeps your doors open.
Okay, so that covers the why. But what in the world is an information system, really? It's a term that gets thrown around all the time. But to really get it, you have to understand the huge difference between raw data and actually useful information. You can think of it like this. Data points are kind of like a bunch of random musical notes. By themselves, they don't mean a whole lot. An information system, now that's the composer that arranges those notes into a symphony. It takes all these raw, unorganized facts and shapes them into something meaningful, something a person can actually use to make a smart decision. And this visual right here just nails it. Over on the left, you've got raw data, just a jumble of items scanned at a supermarket checkout. It's just a list of facts, but then the information system does its thing, and on the right, you get information. It's a clean report showing total sales for one item in one store in one region. Now that is intelligence a manager can actually do something with.
So we've got the why and what. But how do you actually build one of these things effectively? Let me tell you, it's not just about buying the latest and greatest computers. To create real value, you need this balanced, 3-dimensional approach. I like to think of it as a sturdy, 3-legged stool. And for that stool to be stable, right, you need all 3 legs to be strong and working together. Those legs are the 3 key dimensions of any successful information system: organizations, management, and technology. If you focus too much on just one, the whole thing is going to topple right over.
So let's look at that first leg, organizations. Every single company has its own unique structure, its own little universe. It's got a hierarchy, different departments like sales and HR, and its own special way of doing things, its own culture.
Any technology you bring in has to actually fit inside that specific company context if you want it to work.
The second leg is management. These are the folks who are setting the strategy, steering the ship. They're the ones who have to look at all the challenges out there and decide how to use technology to respond. And here's the key part. They have to be creative enough to use that tech to invent new things, or even, like we saw with Netflix, totally recreate the company from the ground up.
And finally, we get to the third leg, the technology itself. This is the part we usually think of first, right? The computer hardware and software, the databases, the networking gear, all of it. This is the powerful toolkit that management and the organization put to work to hit those big strategic goals.
Which brings us to this really critical question. I mean, if any company can go out and buy the exact same computers, the same software, the same tech, then why do so few of them get a great return on that massive investment we saw earlier? This quote pretty much says it all. This is the central puzzle. There is a huge difference in the results that companies get from their tech spending. So clearly, just buying the technology is not some magic bullet for success. Something else has to be going on.
And here it is. This is the secret ingredient, the big aha moment for this whole thing. It's a concept called complementary assets. These are all the other things you have to invest in to get any real value out of your main investment in technology.
See, the companies that really crush it don't just buy technology. They invest in all the stuff around it. They make organizational investments, like creating new, more efficient business processes. They make managerial investments, like promoting teamwork and training their people. They even get a boost from social investments, like having reliable internet for everyone to use. You have to invest in the people and the processes to really make the technology sing.
So the next time you see a company like an Apple or a Walmart that just seems to be winning with technology, I want you to look closer. Don't just look at the shiny new app or the cool hardware. Ask yourself, what are the hidden complementary assets? Is it their business model, their well-trained staff, their company culture that are actually unlocking that technology's true power?